Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2014. Yesterday, the United States Department of Transportation fined Asiana Airlines $500,000 for failing to assist families following the crash of Asiana Flight 214 at San Francisco International Airport back in July of last year. According to the citation included with the fine, the Korean airline was slow to publicize a phone number for families, took 2 full days to contact the families of 75% of the passengers, and did not contact the families of several passengers until 5 days after the crash. The penalty is the first time the Department of Transportation has issued a fine under a 1997 law that requires airlines to adopt and adhere to a, quote, family assistance plan for major accidents. According to information coming from the executive director of the Heritage Insurance Company in Kenya, a gentleman named Joseph Kiyungu, reinsurers have increased premium rates for terrorism in Kenya by between 10 and 40%. Mr. Kiyungu said that the rise was occasioned by the frequent terror attacks in the country, but in particular the Westgate Mall attack. That, of course, occurred on September 21st of last year when the Somali terror group al-shabaab attacked a mall for 4 days and ended up killing at least 67 people. According to Mr. Kiyungu, the ratings of terrorism, presumably the premium, is based on the property being insured, whether a school, shopping mall, vehicles, and even the location. It's a pretty hefty increase. There's been a submarine accident belonging to the Indian Navy off the western coast of the country near Mumbai. 7 Indian sailors have been injured. 2 more are missing. The sailors suffered smoke inhalation and were airlifted from the submarine for treatment. This accident occurred this morning. It was on a routine training mission off Mumbai's coast when smoke was detected. Indian naval ships have already taken up positions around the Russian-made submarine to provide help. There was a relatively strong earthquake in Western Australia's Goldfields region just now. It was a 4.7 earthquake. It occurred near the town of Coolgardie. It was felt about 75 miles away. The quake was the second largest in the historic mining town's history after a magnitude 5 struck in 2010. Well, yesterday we reported that the electricity company in Cyprus is being subjected to workers' labor actions as they're turning the power on and off in protest of a privatization plan. Today it's the turn of the dock workers in the port of Piraeus near Athens in Greece. Greek dock workers around the country walked off the job today in a 24-hour protest strike against plans to privatize the Piraeus Port Authority, the country's largest port. Privatization of state-held assets is a key part of the Greek economic bailout that was put together by the International Monetary Fund and the EU 2 years ago. The Egyptian gas company Gasco says that an explosion has hit a natural gas pipeline in the Sinai Peninsula. They said that the pipeline did not sustain major damage because they were able to stop the flow of gas to and from the site after the bombing last night. The pipeline carries natural gas to an industrial area in the central Sinai and all the way to Jordan. Well, here's an interesting story. If you're in San Antonio, one woman was taken into custody last night in connection with a suspected methane lab explosion in a downtown motel near the Alamo. San Antonio police said the explosion happened at about 6 p.m. at the Days Inn Alamo Riverwalk. Sounds like a nice place. It's in the 900 block of East Houston Street, 1 block from the Alamo. According to a passerby, the explosion took place and window panes flew from the building's facade, landing in the middle of the parking lot. 2 men and a woman then ran from the room into the direction of the interstate highway, Interstate 37. The 2 men managed to escape. The woman suffered damage to her face, presumably from the blast, and the room, of course, was totally destroyed, as were a number of adjoining rooms. No damage to the Alamo. Well, I guess they needed to have more care being exercised, presumably, such as Breaking Bad, Warren Buffett's favorite show. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.